military takeover just became a common thing in our society.
Meanwhile, the civil society advocate challenged politicians by would-be national leaders.
Livelihood. When people have opportunities to get their livelihood, that is in terms of employment, it reduces the overburden in government. People will have the opportunity to work, run their hours, get their income, and then they can support their family. We also want to look at the issue of health. Up to now, our health system is a state deficit. The right to health is a human right. We want good health care. Those are part of our checklist. The issue of education should be boosted because education is also a background that helps to strengthen the country, of course, a young population. We also want to look at the issue of fight against drugs. They're easily lost to the issue of drugs. We want to have a government and the government that will be able to address the issue of drugs by holding importers, people who are attached with bringing drugs in the country and brought to justice so that we discourage the issue of importation of drugs. We also want to emphasize on the issue of addressing civil war era crimes by establishing the War Economic Council that will hold past moral violators accountable and of course will bring peace and beauty to those who are victims and survivors.
The standard bearer of the collaborating political parties, CPP, Alexander Cummins, has claimed that the alleged failed governing process of the country is responsible for Liberia's backwardness. Cummins said Liberia is the oldest independent country in Africa but has allegedly nothing tangible to show for it.
Our country inspired these countries and assisted others to become independent. Yet, as we celebrate our age, we are ranked amongst the poorest and most corrupt nations on earth. Although we are blessed with so much natural wealth, yet we are so very poor. Too many of our people live in unacceptable conditions of poverty and are continuing to die from preventable and treatable illnesses. Liberia is blessed with fertile soil and good weather, yet we cannot feed ourselves. The educational system is a shameful mess. The healthcare system is a disgrace, and the justice system is a joke. We cannot even trust the government to fairly investigate and impartially interpret our laws. Under President Weah, our country has become increasingly lawless. Lawlessness is a serious threat to democracy and a risk to any nation's stability and security. Our peace is shaky. Too many Liberians are living in fear. Too many are jobless. And too many are without employable skills. Things are bad and are getting worse. Homes are breaking down. Families are falling apart.
The CPP political leader also called on politicians to avoid tribalism and unite Liberians for the betterment of the country. He said Liberians deserve better, therefore politicians must engage into activities that will better the lives of the ordinary Liberians.
Or to divide our people. And so, if any political leader wants to take us backward, they should know that Liberians desire to move forward. Talk about tribe, but our people want to talk about fixing the economy so that they can find good and decent paying jobs. Talk about dialect, but our people want us to fix their roads, fix their schools, and fix the hospitals. Liberians of all tribes want to see their lives improved. And so, if you have no new ideas about how to fix our country, and solutions we have for our country. around the world and have built accountable systems. I have led teams comprising Celestia. Our country is richly blessed, including with competent and qualified citizens.
Well, viewers, if you're just joining us, you're watching Buzz TV News, half-hour news presentation of major happenings in Liberia and beyond. My name is Tajari, presenting. On the second day of August, one of our top stories we are following, Liberian Senate ends second quarterly session, and still to come, practical Liberian pastor Thomas Kwewon wants politicians to desist from unwholesome act just to take state powers. This plus much more coming right up after this break. Welcome back to Buzz TV News. Let's know who is also the immediate past superintendent of Grand Bassa County wants the upcoming elections to be more inclusive. She spoke exclusively to Buzz TV News.
That Liberians should take a look at where we came from, where we are, and where we want to see ourselves. How inclusiveness in these elections are very important. I always use the phrase that you don't fly a plane with one wing. You need two. So with the number of women that we have, women should be in a decision-making seat. You cannot decide for us without us being at the table. Mm-hmm. So these elections are important. Being very inclusive, not only women, but some very strong young women. Women that are advocates. Women that can, people come all the time and they say, oh, I draft a bill. I passed it to law, the president signed it. But what do they do after that? To ensure that those bills or those laws are implemented. I can show you that when women are on the table, those laws that are being passed, women will ensure that they are implemented so that those who are affected by those laws can be protected. So these elections, you saw the number of women that register. You see right now the number of women that are willing to participate in these elections. Women have heard their voices. Like the former president said, if your dreams are not big enough to scare you, they're not your dreams. So dream big. The women in Liberia now are dreaming. They too can be the next vice president. They too can be the next president, the next speaker, deputy speaker, or president pro tem. Give the women a seat at the table. The women are your mothers. They are very caring and they look at things differently. So my message is that these elections are important. Look around the world. Yes, the 30% bill was not passed by law, but it did not stop the women from going through the registration process. The women encouraged the people to go out there and register. They participated in that process. So we are asking people out there now to ensure that women have a seat at the table.
A transformed at-risk youth, Justin Avery, has urged current drugs user to desist from the ugly habit. Explaining his over 15 years of being in the habit, Justin stated that drugs is very harmful and destroys one's entire life. He thanked the fellowship of the Cross Church for transforming him today unlike before.
Our leader captured by the habit, true friends. But in that time, where I get captured by friends in the habit, I never experienced that church was going to lead me to lowing car, church was going to lead me to in debt, or church coming to lead me to drink things that I do unknown to myself. When I get to know, smoking joy was like, when you smoke cigarette today, tomorrow you say, I don't want to smoke. You will not smoke it. But when you smoke jaws, if your child smoke jaws, when you say tomorrow, I will not smoke a lot. drugs. When you smoke it today, tomorrow you're not smoking. It's like you inhale, you come and die tomorrow. Some of the effect to drugs addiction, you will be rejected, you will be condemned, you will be accused falsely. People will say a lot of things about you. Even your child you born will neglect you because of the habit, because you don't want to come to your normal self, because the drugs is a spirit, and that spirit can be overcome by God. Only God can lead you out of that left. I will rescue you a church, and the church is waiting to help. There is no money. You can't bribe to go to the fellowship of the cross, right on the bypass. My brother that are on the street, girls or boys, when you in addiction, make sure get tired with the judge. The judge nowadays is kidding. The judge nowadays, they don't have nothing to offer you and myself. Only setback. People condemn you. Children you left behind way, the more farther ahead than you.
John Carver, a resident of Bunjaman, Lofa County, has called on Lofians to vote wisely in the upcoming general and presidential elections. According to him, the decision that the old folks will make in October will either benefit or harm them as future leaders. He made specific reference to Lofa senatorial hopeful Momo Saros, who stated he is the redeemer of the county and is best suited for the senatorial position due to his past and current tangible impact within the county, ranging from all sectors.
Election, I supported Momo Saros.
Why are you supporting Momo Saros?
Because he has solved the country. He can't do the country for nothing. He can't devour the country because there's so many things.
What are some of the things he has done for Lofa County?
Go to Pini, go to Kali. In Gamu, one organization, Kumina Jote, the past graduation. In there, every Kumina Jote people, like le calendar to go to US university and then university to go push the criminal justice. So, my local people, I beg you, please, I need that. Your support, Momo Saros.
A practical Liberian evangelist, Thomas Kwewan, is urging politicians to focus on the interests of the people ahead of the October 10 polls. Evangelist Kwewan discouraged national leaders not to get involved into unwholesome acts in order to take state power. Tribalism, corruption, and nepotism, he stated, needs to be discouraged to court by the national leaders.
The message I have for the politicians, even those are in power or those are not in power, is that they should put away hatred. They should put away tribalism. They should put away corruption. They should put away injustice. They must tell the women there to drive a good flow, not naked clothes. They should start killing one another in a place because God doesn't love this. Because if you continue there, it means that everybody are going to hell. According to Psalm 17, the Bible says all wicked shall turn to including the nation and forget what God. So Liberia today, the leader I forget God now. Even the music that the particular musician is seeking in Liberia today. I want for the government to post up to that because all the music is abusive music. They don't have time for God because as you read the book of Amos 5:23, the Bible says take away the kind of noise music from in my ear. And these are the music some of them listen to. Like the song you can hear when you enter Fuen. They kind of too much can kill their Ben and the government doesn't have time. During our day, when people make music on the studio, the government got to examine it. Whether that will be what inserting what inside, they will not put it on public. But all the music, the ones that I say just a little thing. So all the music now are become insulting message. And all our children then are singing so everybody can dance it well.
At the same time, the Liberian evangelist dispelled rumors of selling land in Nimba County. On the contrary, he disclosed that it is his land that was taken away from him allegedly because of his practical preaching to the people of Nimba and beyond.
I never stole land in Ganta or in Nimba County. It was some brother, one of the brothers, they call him Emo Kona, Emo Walker, because you too need. That living on the bypass in Ganta, he the one took my 3 acres of land away from me. Because he took me to Yarosena that was in the magistrate. So Yarosena too, he asked me for the deed. When I carry the deed, he go through it. He said, I cannot condemn your deed. But I want to ask you one question. Then after he asked question, he said, why is the person that gave the deed? I said, the person is there. He said, surround the man is there, the deed and all is there. So they tell him my land away from me, they gave it to why they sold it to the county inspector, which they call him Mike bring one today. So when I go to some of the authorities that were in Nima County, they say my preaching was too hard, so there was nobody to help me. So at that point, I was living my GB for 1.5 years. But each time when they see me, even the Nibanian when they see me outside on outside, they men are roll, they men so late in Ganta, they men cannot step to Nima County. So they just lay the kind of allegation against me. But since I came back, since it's my 3 more years in Nima County, and I've been going over air, FM, 107.9. I've been there opening the lamp, calling people, those that you say, I saw your land here, you come to arrest me. I say, many people here, they are witness to that, they are listening to my recording. So they just laid the allegation against me. But this time I say announcements on 3 more years, some people can be saying, oh, so they were lying with a person and they lie with my name. Like they don't want to take my 3 acres of land away in a particular Nima County here because of my preaching. So I don't do any criminal thing. They only accuse me falsely.
Meanwhile, the practical man of God stated that he remained focused and abiding in the preaching of the Word of God, despite whatever challenges he will experience.
I experienced a lot of things. In my preaching today, I go through many tribulations. People mock at me. People insult me. People beat me. People gave me slap in my ear. Even I went to Boston and they beat me to that Boston, right to Ralphie Highway. I was in Bowman parking.
Why she beat you?
The lady say, why I say I preach in front of a hotel. So
what you're talking at the hotel?
The thing I was talking at the hotel is women are supposed to naked inside because so naked women were sitting down to the place. So I use a particular scripture. 5 Timothy 2:4. Woman should dry your clothes are right and proper. He said you are disturbing my customer. So she began to beat me and stone me with rag, with sin and all. Matthew 10:23, the Bible says, hey, they attack you on the other side, escape on the other side. So I escaped from there. I went on the other side too.
Evangelist, are you married?
Yeah, I'm married with 7 David children.
Where's your wife?
Responsibility. My woman now is at home. They call her Jay Thomas. Because she must get married Transfer Bible Church.
For how many years?
We are late together about 25 years now. My wife, I don't scare. You like it, kill me. I prepare to die for Jesus Christ anywhere, any minute, any second. I tell my wife, not every day I will come back. I will go. One day I will be killed on the war front because on the battlefield for Jesus Christ. So I represent the 4 year now. I have no fear, no apology, not to compliment the message. The message with me as it is. It will be intensified on the Adad. That's the only way the message will stop.
Let's now join Richmond Kelvin Dawn for our sports news right after this break.
Welcome to God's TV Sports. I am Richmond Kelvin Dawn presenting. Let's now bring you our first story. Ahead of the new league season, Watanga FC commenced training at the SKD practice pitch. Watanga is Liberia's representative in the upcoming CAF Cup. The Orange First Division outfit has so far parted company with 6 experienced players, including Troco Myers and others who were part of the 2022-2023 squad. And at the same time, Watanga's new signing Theo Neiman had his first practice section with his new club. According to him, he is determined to fight for the first team space.
Feel good. Atmosphere is good. Is good. It's always a pleasure being around Watanga. Watanga is it's a club that I see, like my property. Let me just say that. So being back home, that's something I appreciate, and I don't take it.
With this development, we come to an end of Boss TV Sports. Many thanks for watching. I am Richmond Kelvin Dunn. Good night.
Many thanks to Richmond Kelvin Dunn for our sports news. Well, with this development, we've come to the end of Boss TV News. But before we go, let's recap our top stories. Liberian Senate ends second quarterly section. Collaborating political parties, Standard-Bearer Alexander Cummins attributes Liberia's backwardness to the poor governance process over the period. Practical Liberian evangelist Thomas Kwewon warns politicians not to engage into unwholesome act just to take state powers. Thanks for watching. I've been your presenter, Star Jari. Have a good night.
Yeah, I ain't head out. I'll see you guys.
You're going down next time.
Okay.
No more bets.
And I don't want anyone unauthorized in here again, especially not with Heartbeat.
You're right. Won't happen again.
Vegas, looking at Afghanistan, so we're running late hours. This blurry object comes wandering into the strike zone. We all knew that it was Kid. Poof. He's gone. We called him for clarification, and the report came back that it was a dog. Okay, fine. Shifts long, day and night. I remember them. But same village, 2-3 days later, we see the funeral party. We knew it was a kid that they were burying. Moms and dads wailing. Then the order comes down, pretty clear. Hit them. Poof. And they are gone in a cloud of dust. I mean, all of them. The whole fucking family. But the crazy thing is, you come home after work, kiss your wife, your kids, back to work the next day. Pretty soon, you know, it's all comes routine.
Fuck that. You make it sound criminal, man. It's war. It's a job.
I don't know, man. Saying jobs can't be criminal.
Not if you're working for the government.
You ever hear about the Nuremberg trials, Trev? They weren't that long ago.
Yeah. And we hung the Nazi big shots, right?
Yeah, well, the big shots were the first trial, but then the next trial were just the judges and lawyers and policemen and guards and ordinary people just doing their jobs, following orders. That's where we got the Nuremberg principles, which then the UN made into international law, just in case ordinary jobs become criminal again. Just saying.
Wow.
Hey, Ed, how are you? How's your health?
Hey, Corbin. It's fine. Thanks for asking.
Must be nerve-wracking living with that condition. You wouldn't know it. Look at your numbers. 200 Chinese IPs down in your first 4 months.
Those are internal numbers.
Your colleague Trevor comes out of the CIA like you. He's been keeping me informed on your progress. It's outstanding work. Heartbeat as well.
Thank you. Thanks. That means a lot.
Lowell's very pleased. He sends his regards.
It's great to hear.
He doesn't know about your heat map conversations or some of the ideas you've expressed to your colleagues. And he's not going to.
Yeah, you know, Heartbeat is proving a tricky project collating from multiple agencies and knowing where to pull from, it has helped to talk it over with colleagues.
I believe in you, Abba, which is why nothing happened to you after the D-Rog in Geneva.
And I'm very grateful. You've looked out for me.
Or after you, omitted the truth in your last polygraph. What was it you were withholding exactly?
Remember that day in class you were talking to us about the FISA court? You said that they had approved Bush's wiretapping programs.
Sometimes we're restricted from telling the whole truth. It doesn't give us permission to lie.
Come on, Corbin. The director of national intelligence just lied to Congress. Sorry.
Look at me. Did you access an unauthorized program that I did not know about?
Yes. It was in Geneva. It was Lindsay. I was jealous. And I'm sorry. I never did it again.